book can take you anywhere. Turn the pages and you'll be there. Come on, join us, you'll see. We're reading with Carylee.
Hi, and welcome to another Read with Carylee show. I am your host, Carylee, and I am still in my home studio, even though it may look a little different. We want to make sure that we have everything exciting for you so that you have a wonderful experience with our authors. And today we have another author that is from across the country. So I am going to introduce our author and ask him, where is he from? So Mr. Patrick Arguin, where are you reading for us from today?
Today I'm reading to you from Victoriaville, Quebec, Canada.
Oh, awesome.
Which Quebec is the Francophone province of Canada, should we say.
Yes. So we have another international guest here, not just across the way, but a little up north.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming and reading with us and joining our international family. So today, Patrick will be reading Colin Discovers Confidence. And we all know that confidence is something that we need to be able to be productive. And sometimes we may be a little shy, but you just gotta get that oomph so that you can have the confidence that you need. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Patrick to dive right into the story and tell us more about how Colin discovers confidence. Take it away.
All right. I'm starting now. All right. A storm is raging. The wind shakes the oaks of the garden furiously. Suddenly, an acorn is pulled loose and carried far, far away from his home. On its course, the acorn hits a rock and cracks open. The seed inside falls onto the ground. Luckily, Mother Earth welcomes it and covers it with all her love. The little seed is happy. Mother Earth nourishes it, while Father Sun keeps it warm and cozy. My name will be Colin, decides the little seed. Father Sun and Mother Earth guide Colin in his growth and surround him with their presence and their love. The more I grow, the further I feel from Mother Earth, notices Colin. Growing up can sometimes be scary, he worries. Colin is worried and cannot sleep. He wonders what will happen when he becomes a bigger hawk. What will happen to me? He asks to the moon, bright in the sky. The moon heard Colin and tells him, inside your heart, there is wisdom, which can help you and guide you. Wisdom? Worries Colin. I have never seen any wisdom. I will tell you how to find it, kindly answers the moon. Colin closes his eyes and carefully listens to the moon. Focus on the love inside your heart, she says, and slowly breathe in. Colin relaxes. He feels the calm settling inside him, and Yellow the elf appears before him. You see, Colin, explains the elf, there is a lot of love and strength inside your heart, and it flows everywhere inside of you, just like your sap. Colin feels a sense of well-being and is filled with a beautiful yellow light growing inside of him. Now, says the elf, focus on the tips of your roots. They are firmly planted in the ground and in touch with the love of Mother Earth. Colin can feel his roots and all of the strength flowing inside of him. You can feel this strength every time you need to, says Yellow. It will give you the confidence you need to grow up. Colin has grown and is now a strong and young oak. He visits his heart often to meet with Yellow and to find his sense of well-being and self-confidence. One morning, terrified birds are flying above Colin. A terrible storm is coming from the north of the garden, they chirp as they flee the storm. Colin shivers. He sees the storm approaching, and he can feel the fear rising within him. Then he closes his eyes, focuses on his heart to gather all of his strength and confidence. My roots are solid, he thinks, and I won't fly away. When the storm arrives, Colin fearlessly stands it. The strong winds make him sway, but his roots are firmly planted. He is really proud of himself. Time has passed. In the garden, there is an oak swaying in the wind. He is not afraid of the furious winds or the storm. It is Colin stretching his branches towards Father Sun and his roots toward Mother Earth. The end.
That was a great book about building confidence. And I just, it, to see the way that you put everything together from that little acorn. And we have so many of our little friends who always don't always have the confidence that they need. So we thank you for writing that book and thank you for sharing that with us.
My
What
pleasure.
was what was your inspiration behind writing Colin Discovers Confidence?
Um, well, it was inspired a lot by my own personal journey of growing up and going through depression, and afterwards in therapy, reacquainting myself with more of myself, of who I really was, and when I became a dad, um, when my daughter was 3, I was seeing her struggle a bit when she was coming from daycare and things like that. So I figured,
Mhm.
is there a way for me to teach her meditation and grounding like I'm using right now? Because at the
Okay.
time, um, um, I'd started meditating a few years beforehand, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if I could teach that to young children,
Yeah.
from earliest point on. So
Yeah. Mhm.
so the first thing that came to my mind was a tree, like and showing its roots. And so it started out as images and characters to show my daughter. Eventually, I quickly realized that it would need stories. Then, with the need of expanding on teaching to other children, I started to wonder, well, what more can I teach them?
Yeah.
And my background as a therapist and my my own life experience really inspired me to devise the themes of the books, because in the Tools of the Heart collection there is 8 books in total, and it was really designed as a educational tool where
Yeah.
each
Mhm.
story is individual but also serves as a stepping stone for the next one. And so
Yeah.
to really help to foster um, to teach children self-care tools and habits that will help them nurture and nourish their self-confidence and self-esteem and resiliency, empathy, and things like that. So
Well,
it really was
that's
the starting point.
okay, and that's awesome that you would actually take from your own life experiences and pass them on to children to help them to, get better acquainted with the world and um, boost their confidence. And like you said, you have the series with the tools of the heart, and we will have that in the description below, so that you can too get these books for your children to be able to help them in different challenges that they may have. So before we go, I always ask this of our authors: what book inspired you when you were growing up, and possibly was one of your favorites growing up?
Well, when I was young, I wasn't much of a reader. I would have to admit, but there's a book. There's a book that followed me for a long, long time, and that was the comic strip version of The Empire Strikes Back from
Okay.
the Star Wars universe. It was a
Awesome.
Bible format comic strip, and of all the movies that really had a big influence on me, The Empire Strikes Back was a big one. Not because I was so fond of space and
Mhm.
science fiction and stuff like that, but the the um, the mentor apprentice relationship and the 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 spiritual aspect of it. That of learning to become who you are and rely on your inner strengths, and the concept of the force in its whole really had a strong impact on me. So uh, and I think that maybe people might find this in these books, because in each book there's the importance of conveying to the children that all the answers, all the strengths he need to face whatever he's facing are
Are
inside
within.
of him.
Yeah.
And that was the main this is the main theme throughout the stories. um, so yeah, being able to rely on yourself and your strength, uh, that was key for Tools of the Heart. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we thank you for coming and sharing that with us. And we know that the Tools of the Heart series will be, well, is one that is really inspiring other children. And we know that, we're, with this book, with Colin Finds Confidence, we're encouraging our friends to have the confidence from within. And as Patrick said, with his love of the comic book from The Empire Strikes Back, may the force be with you. We thank you again. Thank you for joining us on the Read with Carylee show. Make sure you join us next week for another amazing author. You never know where they will be reading from. So, as always, thank you, and remember to grab a book and read.
We're reading with Carylee. We're reading with Carrie, reading with Carrie, reading with Carrie, reading with Carrie.
Thanks for watching another amazing episode of the Read with Carylee show. We have amazing authors coming by every week. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. You don't want to miss a thing.